The older I get, the more I appreciate Tales from the Crypt. When I was a kid, I thought this show was creepy as hell. That intro alone used to freak me out. The camera moving through that old house, going downstairs into the crypt. Then the crypt keeper pops out, laughing like a maniac. That used to scare the hell out of me, and I'd go hide behind the couch anytime that part would come. I'd be in the living room, watching it late at night with the volume low, because my parents were asleep. I was 5 years old and had no business watching this shit, but it was addicting. I couldn't get enough. This is back when being scared meant something. Now I'm just desensitized from all the gore videos I've seen over the years, but it takes me back to a time when I used to be afraid to have bad dreams. Now I welcome them, just to feel anything. And lo and behold, Tales from the Crypt is back on streaming. I'm not gonna say who unless they want to pay me. And honestly, it takes me right back to being a kid. That's the thing about certain shows. The second that intro music starts, your brain goes right back to another era. Back when horror anthologies felt dangerous and grimy. But now that I'm watching it as an adult, this show's a lot crazier than I remember. And I want to go through every single Tales from the Crypt episode, beginning to end, like a labor of love. Back when times were good, when the world was relatively recognizable. Not like how it is today. And we got the first episode, The Man Who Was Death, starring the dude from Shawshank Redemption who was getting punked out by the old man Brooks who put a knife to his neck. And this episode is one of the most memorable Tales from the Crypt ones, mostly because it's the first episode. But it's about a guy with a god complex. He's a prison executioner and he feels like he's carrying out divine justice. Niles Talbot feels like he's serving a higher purpose. He genuinely believes he's doing the bidding of the Lord every time he flips that switch. In his mind, he's restoring balance, karmic justice, divine punishment, however you want to call it. And honestly, he almost convinces you. Shawshank Redemption guy plays him with this calm confidence. He's like a hillbilly Merceau from The Stranger. Feels like life has no meaning. Live or die, it's all the same. Cui bono, cui gives a shit. And you kind of buy into the character. He walks around like a man who's already accepted death. He looks prisoners in the eyes before electrocuting them because he wants to experience death with them. That's his drug. He even gives us a play-by-play on the prisoner's backstory in order to justify killing him, just so we remember that he's the good guy and they're the bad guy. And I think this is the only episode where the star of the episode is doing the narration. I mean, I could be wrong, I'll figure that shit out the more I go through this series. But what's ironic is, he's narrating this shit like Red from Shawshank. That's kinda meta. I wish I could tell you that Andy fought the good fight, and the sisters let him be. I wish I could tell you that, but prison is no fairy tale. But what this guy Niles Talbot fails to realize is, he's no better than the guy he's killing. The only difference is one has a badge and one doesn't. And it shows just how fine that line is. And while Shawshank Dude is trying to convince us that this guy deserves to die, he's also convincing himself that he's justified in killing him. Whatever makes him sleep at night. And also, with the first episode of Tales from the Crypt, they establish a moral to the story. An event that happens in the beginning of the episode ends up biting the person in the ass by the end of the episode. It's basically like Curb Your Enthusiasm, but with monsters and serial killers. This guy over here, Ledbetter, killed his boss because he didn't get a pay raise and is now on death row. And he's trying to reason his way out of the electric chair, saying the governor's gonna call and pardon him. Yeah, we've all heard that one before. And Niles over here gets almost a sexual satisfaction out of flipping that switch. Cause this is his dream job. Before this, he was an electrician, and he got hired by the prison to repair the power generators. And eventually he became the executioner. Honestly, he'd do the job for free if they didn't pay him. And I can just imagine this guy as a child, in the backyard electrocuting cats and gerbils and shit. And someone got the bright idea to hire him. If he didn't have this, who knows what he'd be? Well, that question gets answered really quickly. You see, society is changing. The old way of capital punishment isn't really vibing in the modern world. We're on the cusp of the 90s. People are getting more liberal. They're talking about their feelings. You got people like Kurt Cobain starting to come up. It's the pussy generation. They give a shit about humanity, and the death penalty gets shut down. And the prison throws him away overnight. He put 12 years into this game, but he didn't make a lot of friends because everyone knows he's a fucking psycho. Because he would get off on killing these guys. I would imagine most prison guards are heartless cocksuckers, but this guy was a different level. He'd come in his pants every time that switch got flipped. There was zero humanity in him. He'd mock the guys for begging for their lives before being executed. He comes off like his heart is stone, so they couldn't wait to get rid of his ass. And that's the moment he completely snaps, because he still has the urge to punish people, but he doesn't have the state backing him anymore. He still wants to carry out justice. That's his form of therapy. But now he has to decide who deserves it himself. He thinks he's the inbred hillbilly Batman, and that's where the God complex fully takes over. He's sitting in courtrooms watching murderers walk free over technicalities, and you can see him getting disgusted. In his mind, the system became weak, so he's got to step in to fix it. And it all starts with that biker dude from Terminator 2. You forgot to say please. This guy's like a created character NPC biker douchebag. Every role this guy's ever been in, he's a fucking asshole. So you know he's going down. So Terminator 2 dude over here is pulling up to his garage that's conveniently locked by a metal fence, and Niles turns him into a microwave dinner, electrocutes his ass through the fence. I mean, a gunshot could have worked, but okay. I'm sure it took hours to set this whole shit up, let alone running the risk of getting detected, but everything just happened to work out. But Niles is making a point, because in his mind this isn't murder, it's community service. He genuinely thinks he's cleaning society up. Give him a fucking Nobel Peace Prize. But he kills with a calm attitude. He's not emotionally attached, he's just working pro bono. Qui bono. Qui gives a shit. But the smart thing about making this guy the first victim is because the audience will go along with it at first. So this guy James Flood killed a man for being a bundle of sticks, if you will, back when that actually meant something. Remember back in the day when there was such a panic of gay people? Talk about a gigantic waste of one's time to worry about what other people do in their private life. It feels like as a society we've gotten over that, I think. I hope. Fuck, let people live in peace. Let them love whoever the fuck they want. What does it matter to you? But this James Flood guy over here didn't get the memo and went on a bashing spree, because that's the kind of cocksucker he is. So he had it coming. This guy's such an obvious asshole, that part of your brain rationalizes him dying. And that's the trap this episode sets. It gets you comfortable with Niles' worldview before showing you that this guy's completely gone mentally. He replaced the justice system with himself. He's a modern day Travis Bickle, so he kills his ass and gets away scot-free. You figure he would have left it alone from there, moved on with his life. But no, that's not good enough. Now he's feeling like a vigilante for justice. And that's an even worse drug than being the executioner, because now he's killing technically innocent people. And his next victim is a couple that got let off for a murder, kills his wife and runs off with his mistress. But since there isn't enough evidence, they get let off, and Niles' wheels start turning. And this episode also exposes what a joke the justice system was in the 90s. If you were gonna kill anyone, do it then. Now there's body cams and CCTV everywhere. If you step outside to check your mail, they got you on footage. Thank Peter Thiel for that one. But everyone in court's getting off on murder, even though they did it. This guy Niles is killing everyone, and the cops are none the wiser. Makes you wonder how dudes like Jeffrey Dahmer ever got caught. Well, I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer's victim escaped and literally told the cops, who didn't believe him. But if that victim never escaped, shit, Jeffrey Dahmer'd still be on the loose today. And that's how useless our justice system is. You gotta be a real fucking idiot to get caught. I'm looking at you, David. So Niles pulls up on the couple while they're drinking champagne and banging in a hot tub, celebrating the death of his wife, which is pretty fucking morbid, and he declares them both guilty of the crime. Guilty as charged. And he electrocutes them by pushing a fucking button on his little remote there, which doesn't make sense. If you had something electrical already in the hot tub, wouldn't they be electrocuted already? What the fuck would a button do? And how did he put something electrical in the hot tub? Did he drain it and then plant an electrical device in it while they were out and then fill it back up before they got there? He's doing all this extra work for no reason, just for his own ego. They're gonna die either way. The fuck do they care how you did it? They don't give a shit how you set up their death. They're already fucking dead. That's too much work. At that point, just throw a fucking radio in there and call it a day. I'm not trying to be that guy, but come on, Tales from the Crypt. This is like child logic. This shit makes complete sense when you're 5, but once you're an adult, you poke holes all through this shit. Since he's starting to get messy, taking this shit a little too far, basically leaving his business card at every crime scene, Niles Talbot, electrician and executioner for hire. You figure he'd quit while he was ahead. But no, he's gotta get one more kill in. And at this point, it's like, dude, you're not a crusader for justice. At this point, you're a fucking serial killer. How about get one final kill and kill yourself, fuckwad? But he's got a hard-on for this strip club chick he calls the Queen Bitch, who killed her boyfriend and got off, because obviously the system is as useless as tits on a boar. And while he goes backstage to electrocute her cage, look who shows up. For once in this whole episode, the cops doing their fucking job. They bust Niles. And for one, what the fuck was he doing backstage fucking with the electrical? He really does not give a shit if he gets caught at this point. He's gonna do it in public so everyone sees. And the cops make a big show of it. Listen, if you guys did your job from the beginning, he wouldn't have to do it for you. You see how pointless and ass backwards this system is? Big waste of fucking time here. You can't convict the bad guy, so you convict the guy that's killing the bad guys and call him the bad guy. So say goodnight to the bad guy, cause it's the last time you're gonna see a bad guy like this again. And how ironic, as soon as he gets arrested, the governor miraculously reinstates the death penalty. So there's your Larry David Curb Your Enthusiasm moment. But what I didn't see coming was him begging for his life and crying like a bitch, saying the governor's gonna call. Dude, what a fucking poser. This whole time I thought this guy was Sigma. I thought he was bout it and rowdy. But nah, his little raisins he calls balls shriveled right up as soon as it was his turn. You sure can dish it but can't take it. You love to be the hammer but can't be the nail. Even Merceau from The Stranger smiled when he was being executed. What do you have to say for yourself? Cinderella didn't even cry. His coach turned into a pumpkin. But don't you know, dog, Newton's law? For every action, there's foot action. Or whatever. It's a dirty game and every dog has its day. When you live by the chair, don't be surprised when you die by the chair. And that's the moral of the story. If you ever become an executioner, don't kill people on the street or you'll be the one executed, boys and girls. And when Niles dies, everyone's happy about it. Everyone he worked for, it's like they got a sick satisfaction out of this shit. So they're no better than him. You're all a bunch of fucking psychos. With friends like these, who needs enemies? But I love this episode. Man, this is the inaugural Tales from the Crypt episode that set the tone for an entire generation. And going back through season 1, man, this shit was incredible. The only bummer is they're 30 minutes long, so you go through each episode like fucking Tic Tacs. But this shit gets super addicting, so I'm gonna have a ton of fun going through all these episodes. This was the nostalgia trip I've been looking for a long time. But yeah, tell me some of your favorite scenes, some of your favorite quotes, tell me some of your favorite Tales from the Crypt episodes. And to the rest of you, I hope you have a good night, be safe, qui gives a shit, and God bless.